Hi, my name is Max. My guest today is Anya. We're going to do a textured bob with taper undercut underneath. After sectioning, I go through the undercut area and debulk and balance with a 1.5 guard. After my debulking process, I lay in my skin lines to set up my tapers. I set all my guidelines on each point of the head on purpose just to maintain the balance throughout the haircut. From here, my next guideline is no guard open. Then I'll work below that with my no guard until it's closed and blended completely. If you're having trouble with blending weight out, try using the corners of your clipper. The next weight line I have to set in is my half guard all the way open. From there I do the same thing by working it down until it's blended into my no guard open. To achieve the final blend, I put on my 1 guard in the open position and then blend it down to the half guard. I like to achieve the balance by just moving on to the other side and repeating the process. This keeps me organized. From here, I move on to the back and decide what kind of taper I'm going to try and achieve. I want to keep this one low because we're going to throw a little design in there at the end. Simply repeating the process as before, no guard open to create my next weight line, and then buffing that weight line down to the skin. Productive with the corners of your clippers in this case will help a lot due to the different directions of the hair growth on the back of the neck. Just as previous, I put on the half guard in the open position and then work it down to the closed position, and it will meet my skin at the open position. Then finish off with the 1 guard open to the 1 guard closed to meet your half guard at the open position. I've never claimed to be the king of designs, but I can tell you a few tips if you're just a little anxious about it. Sometimes less is more. Too complicated doesn't look on purpose. That's why a lot of my designs are simpler. I'm not super awesome at them, but I do enjoy doing them. So I like to do these nice curvy organic shapes that flow with the head shape. If you don't know where to start, just try something that looks a little bit more flowy and natural. You don't have to go straight lines right away. I can also say, don't be afraid to make your lines a little bit more bold. They're gonna look a little weird at first, but you have to keep in mind that you're going to straight razor these to be nice and sharp at the end. Work always needs to be taken seriously. The point is to reduce as much friction as possible. You want to reduce friction because it makes your work clean and your canvas pain-free. Accidents happen when you're trying to struggle through something. If you feel a little bit too much resistance, re-prep your canvas. Personally, I like using a clear shave gel as it allows me to see my work and also reduce friction easier. However, I didn't have that on hand today, so I made do with some extra warm water and a lot of attention. After I'm happy with the undercut I've created, I begin to move on and prep the rest of the hair surface for the bob. Anya has high density straight hair. This makes cutting a wet ideal, as well as letting it fall naturally. Minimal tension is key. She actually has so much hair that I still have to section the top of her haircut even though I've cut almost a third of it out. This is a good thing. This allows a clean, sharp bob line that she can achieve with her hair type. It's important to know this stuff with your client asking. Keeping the comb angle the same as your cutting angle will help you achieve balance throughout the haircut. Continue on dropping your sections and following your guide. Since your preference is an off-center part, I check for balance up front by the face because mathematical symmetry and visual symmetry are very different. We don't want to compromise the perimeter of the shape, we want to keep it nice and strong and blunt. I'm not going to do too much layering here, I'm going to keep it way high above the occipital, so it's really just a bit of balance that I'm adding. Wet hair lies, so I do all my refining work on dry hair. This makes it easier to see how much weight and exactly how much texture I'm adding into the internal movement of these layers. I only use this technique on really high density hair that I don't want to remove layer weight from, but I want to add a little bit of movement to. From here, it's just about finding your shape and refining it, checking your work. Combination haircuts don't have to be scary, and I pride myself on being very versatile, so I like tackling these. If anyone has any questions, feel free to comment. I'm not going to ask for your follows, but I'll see you next time.